Gus, go with the theme song. And theme song. What is with the fucking theme song?
It's a podcast.
That one was good.
Do you remember what that quote was from, Bernie, when you said get rid of the...
You get rid of the phone.
Yeah.
When I was angry about the phone ringing. That's when... Was that like episode 6 of the podcast?
It was pretty early
No,
on.
that was during the week of one podcast every day of the week.
Was it? Oh,
that was
God.
in the Drive Safe edition.
Dark days.
times for Gus.
Fucking one a day. What was I thinking?
There was a very brief moment in history when I had Gus's job of like keeping order on the podcast, and I immediately pawned that off on Gus. So that's...
Keeping or.
What?
What did you say?
Keeping order.
Oh, order.
Keeping awe. Karis
It's loud.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who have we got on this podcast, Gus?
I've got Gus.
Hi, Gus. I've got Gavin.
No, I'm just happy that this is going to be a great day. I can tell already because Gus is starting the podcast so fucking mad.
I have no idea why. I'm in a
I
bad
know,
mood.
he's so angry.
He's fuming. It's like all the settings on the board are wrong. All the settings on the earphone mixer are wrong. Gus is he's livid.
He's trying to hit me in the
You better take your headphones off. This might be loud.
All right, really? All right, be careful, everybody listening to the podcast. Oh, I'm going to brave it.
Don't. It's bad news.
I totally hear reverb on you.
Plug that in.
Okay, you tell me to plug it in, yet you're doing it.
There.
Okay.
All right, Gus did maintenance on the fly there.
There.
All right.
I think my headphones are just super up. It's just super loud.
God damn.
I know.
The fuck?
I thought the same as
Hey,
well.
Gus,
Oh,
can
that's
I
way
get a drink of water?
All right, there. Is everyone happy? Or is everyone better?
I'm not happy until you're unhappy. Then I'll be happy.
Okay, there. Much better.
Hey!
Okay.
all right.
Hey, it's a podcast.
Gus, do you want to talk about how angry you are? 'Cause
I have no idea what's wrong. It's just like every little thing was wrong this morning. Like I needed a USB cable. The shit, like the game was fucked up.
Do you get the issue where people, like the order in which you see people makes you more or less happy when you walk in? Like if you see someone you don't like, do you get madder
who
when
do
you walk
you
in?
wait?
But the
Who do you
better
not
question-
like? At the
I like
office?
everyone, buddy.
Well, what's the order?
I know,
that-
I'm just like Jack always seems in a good mood until he sees my face, then he wants to punch me. So
What is the deal with that? Can we put a stop to that?
yeah, let's do that. Let's
Assault in the office.
Yeah, I mean, did you do something? You think he's threatened by you? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I'm a lot smaller than him, so he shouldn't be threatened.
We should talk. We want to bring him in here to talk about it.
I don't think he's here
He's not
yet.
here today.
He's not here yet. It's not 11 a.m. yet.
This does beg the question, though. Gavin, if you had to, do you think you could take Jack in a fight?
I absolutely could take Jack.
You
Because
think
Jack is like
But
a
you-
bear. He would just be like a...
But you have weak balls. You have like a weak spot.
I do, but I think every guy really
I
has
was
weak
going to say,
balls.
isn't that a spot for every guy to
Yeah,
cheap
but
shot?
he has to be even more careful.
Yeah, I do have to be
Yeah.
super careful. I got hit in the nuts at RVBTO. I was not happy about it.
Who hit you in the nuts?
Did someone like run up and punch you in the nuts?
Yeah, it was like a thing they were doing where it's like, hey, you don't know about our club. And then I was like, what's the club or something? And he just goes, boop, like straight in my nads.
Who did that?
I'm not going to out them on the podcast.
No, out him.
No, I don't want to do it.
Do you know their name?
Out 'em.
Did you know them?
It was Captain Ed.
Oh
Now it's funny.
no! Fuck that! Fuck that guy. The first and only time I went to RBBTO, I got a dinner roll thrown at me by Haxor.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude,
Well, that's not too bad. It's
That's
not
the
messy
first
or
and only
anything.
time you went to RBTO?
Yeah.
is that
You
why
didn't
you didn't go again?
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not going to go back and have dinner rolls thrown at me.
Wait a minute. So you went to the first RBTO and didn't go to any after that?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Really?
Yeah.
I think I went to pretty much every other one.
I remember watching the first RVBTO. I felt like I was there because it seemed like 30 people were filming it simultaneously.
No.
And you could just
It was more. It was much more than
Oh, was
30.
it?
There was a weird problem with the first RBTO.
I think you could
where
actually start the weekend and end it just from cutting from people's cameras. You could complete the whole weekend. in
You
one.
probably could.
Yeah.
I can tell you that Gus and I went to lunch with two people, and while we were eating lunch, somebody who filmed us the entire weekend, while we're eating, sat about a foot and a half away from us, filming us,
Oh my
kept the
goodness.
camera on us the entire time we're eating.
Well, I remember that
Creepy.
it started when I guess you were just meeting the people. You and Gus were eating somewhere, and they like jump out in front of the window at the restaurant you're eating at, and just film you through the window, and you're like mid chewing, like, huh? And then from then on until the end, you were on camera the whole time.
That was an interesting first experience because I thought that's what fan events were going to be like that from that point
Yeah,
on.
for some reason it got better, improved.
No, just that one event was like that. Everyone had a video camera.
What year was that? How long ago? Was the first
2005.
2005.
5. There you
7
go.
years
I was watching some stuff from the Olympics. I was watching some intros that people sent for AWU.
Yep.
And those stadiums, man, if you gave every single person the same camera and just had them all take a picture at the same time, you could get the coolest bullet time shot of all time. I don't know why someone hasn't done that.
Because getting everyone to take a photo at the exact same time would be literally impossible.
Well, not the exact same second, but just like everyone, go. And all the flash would be like, it'd be really cool.
Yeah.
You should try it.
Yeah, except for the problem, what kind of cameras would we give
You
everybody?
should try it. Is he going to be at the Olympics anytime soon?
Yeah, 4 years. What are you saying?
Well, what kind of cameras would you give everybody?
I don't know.
Give them all a bunch of GoPros. That we don't have to worry about having them all take a picture at the same time.
Yeah, the
Being just
pretty
like
wide angle on
slate
there.
in the middle, sync it all.
You know, I gotta say that we were taking pictures out somewhere where, like, we were at some bar drinking and take a photo, prove that we're having fun, that kind of thing. What is the
Welcome to the
fucking
future.
What is the fucking deal? Why are flashes so shitty on cell
dude,
phones?
the iPhone is
know.
just... everyone has the same reaction as well, like conventions or like if we're out hanging out. If someone takes a picture, even if it's dark, they're like, flash went off, damn it, hold on. And then
Right.
everyone does it again. It's like the flash is never good on those.
Yeah, they should.
Something
It's one of those things. It's like you recognize that, like, right now, it's just shitty, and it's going to be better than what it is eventually.
Yeah.
So we're all just kind of putting up with it.
Well, I think they...
Just keep it off. Just always keep it off. That's what I always do.
There
Fuck
should
auto.
be an
Exactly.
option for that.
You-
in
there
There
is an
is.
option
There's
for
an
that.
option.
yeah, but somehow I turn it on by accident. There should be an option in settings, just never flash at any point.
It's not. It's not even in settings. They made it easier for you. It's on the fucking camera
Yeah,
on the screen
On
where you
the
hit the
screen.
button.
I've somehow...
It says auto on off. It tells you.
I'm going to be careful confronting Gus today.
Oh, please don't. Please
Oh,
don't.
yeah.
Please don't.
The best use of the flash on the phone?
Is a flashlight.
No.
Yes.
The best use of flash is you can turn it on so when you get a text or a call, it flashes.
Yes, I don't know.
Why is
You're
that
the
the
only
best
person I know who
use?
uses that.
That's not useful. If it's in your pocket, how do you fucking see that?
I
Kara's
see
right.
it through my pocket.
The best use is a flashlight. That's it.
I am right.
You
No.
just
Dude.
said you see it through your pocket?
Yeah.
You look at your pants all day?
No, I'll be sat there with my phone in my shorts, and all of a sudden I'll just see a light go doo, doo, like from my
Or
pocket.
you
I'll be like,
Does
oh.
your phone vibrate?
Yeah.
You don't feel the vibration. You only see the light.
Well, if it's on a table, I'm not going to feel the vibration, Gus.
But then
But
it's
you
not your
just said
pants.
Well, I'll see the flash, won't I, from across the damn room, especially at night, where it lights up the whole room when I get a text. If I leave my phone on the table in the corner, it's like, doof, doof. It's like, oh, it was awesome, I got a text.
You just told a goddamn story
What?
where you see the phone in
I
your
see it
pants.
through my pocket as well.
And he asked you don't feel it vibrate. And you said, well, it's not in my pants. You started the story. And then when he asked you another question about the story, you came with another story. Can you not feel it when it vibrates
I
in your
just
pants?
listed 2 good reasons where it's effective.
God damn. It's infuriating. It's like talking to someone who's half retarded.
So wait, am I half smart?
No, I don't know what the other half. The other half is child.
But I have a Mophie case, which is one of those add-on battery cases.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a little meter on the bottom of it right here, where it tells you how charged the battery is by these little LEDs.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I didn't know that's what that meant. I have one too.
Yeah. Well,
Seriously?
Hey, you didn't know a lot, Gavin. You cannot be talking
What did
right
I know?
now.
What did I know?
That you can turn off your flash on your camera when you
I-
have the screen up there. All right, continue.
I
Penny,
swear to God,
apologize.
Gavin's reverb, but it makes him sound kind of godly. I like it.
Reverb.
But the problem is that when I charge it at night. These little LEDs, they blink depending on which one is like the level of the charge. There's 4 lights here for those of you who can't see it on the podcast. And as it goes over, like, it lights up each one and says, oh, it's more charged. And the one that's currently charging blinks. And goddamn, in a dark room, that is the brightest light in the world. I mean, that is like...
I've got that same case. I found a good workaround for that, though.
What?
Just drink a bunch before you go to sleep. It doesn't matter when the lights won't flashing.
I find that I charge my case now separately than my phone. I charge my phone and charge
It's
my
too
case.
much to deal with. Just put it. Just take it off and put it away. Put it in a drawer and
I'm
don't
with
use
you.
it again. Like
I'm
everyone
with you.
else.
I didn't use it for like 2 weeks, and then I got back to
Also,
using
you
it.
said you I think that's your 3rd one at this point. You said you lost the top or something.
I did.
Or
I
something.
I went online and ordered this top as a part.
So,
Hey, I'm getting really good about like
How do you
ordering.
lose the top?
I don't know. I don't know how that
it
happens.
just looked like your iPhone was sitting in a big metal sock.
When I go out with him, I lose stuff. I don't know what it is. I
Dignity.
lose shit. Yeah,
Sanity.
pretty much patience.
He rubs off on you.
Gross.
But like I
I
ordered
haven't
a
rubbed
part,
off for a few days.
or I
Actually.
asked Kara to order a part for the microwave. Did you order that part?
Yes.
You know the little spinny
She's
part?
lying.
It's okay.
She's so full of shit. She's so full of shit. She's so transparent when she lies.
Well, you know what? I was kind of shitty about it because I was going to order this part for the microwave. I even went and looked it up. But I was so lazy and didn't want to fill in the address and all that stuff that I just sent it to Kara and said, hey, can you order this for the microwave?
What's wrong with the microwave?
And you know the little spindle that spins your platter so that your
The turntable?
Yeah, the turntable. The little plastic thing underneath broke, so the thing doesn't spin. And so I just looked up the model number.
Why do you have to have food spinning in there?
I think so the heat's
So-
distributed evenly.
Why don't
So
they
it
just,
cooks evenly.
yeah, why don't they just put like a thing on both sides instead of spinning it?
Gavin, what is the thing?
Oh, wait, no, how does a microwave
What is
work?
the thing that they would put on both sides?
The heater part?
Magnetron.
Magnetron.
There you go.
You know, I'm making fun of Gavin. I have no idea how a microwave works.
I know,
put
I
my
know what
food
you're
in it
saying.
and I cook it. I don't know what it
I
does.
assume they can't put two, and again, I'm talking out my ass, because I assume that the heating, the radiation comes from a single source, and I assume that it bounces in a certain way throughout
Yeah.
the microwave to provide the heat. So if they put a second one, then it's harder to coordinate them and have the pattern, so it's easier to rotate the food.
That probably uses more power, too, if you have...
Right. And then that's my assumption, based on zero knowledge
Yeah.
of microwaves.
I really have no clue. So when I stand there and I stare at my food through the glass, and I let like that nuclear wind hit me in the face,
Nuclear wind.
but like that exhaust wind.
Yeah.
Is that bad? Is that bad for me to do
Yes.
that?
No.
It is.
What, to press your head against the microwave while it's turned on? Probably.
I don't do that. I just stare at the food longingly until it's done.
But when I lived in England with my parents, we had a microwave that...
Like last month. How are you talking about it like it was so long ago? What was it, like 4 months
That
ago?
was a way of saying that I used to live in England and I used to live with my parents.
Right.
And it was a while ago. So I summed it up in one sentence. Anyway,
So in the
Thanks for
past,
clarification.
in the past, there was a microwave that we had that was, I think, like 25 years old. I was so scared of that thing. I would turn it on and then like step way back. Because after 25 years of use, it's got to be leaking radiation at some point, right?
I knew a guy who had such a busted up microwave that you could see the interior chamber while it was on. Like it was like there were like gaps in the glass where you could like see through to it.
what?
That just seems like a bad idea.
No,
right?
well, you can see through it anyway. It's transparent.
No, I mean like there was like a
was a
air
gap.
Like, it was
God.
broken, like a crack.
Well, everyone's got cancer.
Would you really though? I mean, what is it? I mean, there's a
It's radiation.
Little, yeah, but there's a little thin
Yeah, there's,
sheet of
there's
glass.
radiation in everything, though. Everything has radiation.
Well, why do
Rocks
they-
have radiation.
Why do they protect it with a metal grill over the front of the glass, over the thing?
I don't know. What do you think
Faraday
it does?
cage. What?
Is that what it is?
I don't know.
It might actually be a Faraday cage.
I'm pretty sure if you put your phone in a microwave and try and ring it, it shouldn't ring. There should be no service in a microwave.
Well, now
Oh,
Oh
come
my
on.
god.
now
What do you mean, come on?
No way.
Let's go do it. Let's go do it right
might-
now.
We got a podcast going on.
Mobile podcast. Let's drag all this crap out into the kitchen.
After the podcast, we will go record a video of you doing that.
What does everyone
Wait.
think? Do you think your phone will ring? It's got to
Look,
ring.
if that is meant to stop radiation from a microwave
Wait.
from getting to your face and brain,
Wait.
it shouldn't allow AT&T in there either.
But it's a difference between radiation and radio waves.
Isn't radiation radio waves?
They
It's all
say
just one
that
big
your
spectrum.
cell phone causes like radiation or something too, so wouldn't it kind of counter react in
Maybe
a
it
bad
will
way?
create
or
a super phone that has the best
Exactly.
signal of all time.
That or your phone
You'll
will
be able to call the
explode.
moon.
You'll be able to call tomorrow. Call
It'll feel like Captain America. You open up the microwave and it's
no.
this like super phone.
You'll be able to call
Superphone.
a piping hot bag of popcorn. So we did our first test for the video podcast streaming last week. I thought that went well.
I got in a lot of trouble.
You did?
Why? What did you
Why?
do?
Well, the tape that was holding my mic to my t-shirt at some point during the podcast fell down and tugged on my chest hair, which really hurt. And then I was
Ow.
trying to like move it back up, and it was just tugging, and I was like messing with it. And,
So-
and afterwards, everyone was like, "Stop messing with your mic."
You want to know why we can't release that audio? Because someone wouldn't stop fucking with his microphone.
It was like a minute of me trying to pull my mic back up. Just cut that bit out.
I heard there were other problems with it.
There were.
But they were all solvable problems.
Yeah. So
Right.
we're going to do another test this week, and hopefully we'll have something usable from it.
Yeah, have we ever tested a product more than the podcasts at Rooster Teeth? I mean, I can't imagine anything else we've
Well, you
tested
tested
more.
the first one a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying we tested
Oh, I
the first
see.
one
You
so
do
much,
include in that one.
and
Yeah.
now we're testing the video version of it so much.
I found a video the other day. I was like looking back through tons of old stuff, and I found a video from one of the times I was in Austin, and I've got footage of us all on a podcast we're like recording a podcast. We're all wearing headphones and mics, but it's not a podcast. I guess it was one.
probably one of the ones
I
we
didn't
deleted.
realize that I was on one of the test podcasts before it even started.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
One of the ones we didn't post?
Yeah.
God damn it, Carrie, you're wearing your fucking headphones backwards too.
I don't.
Am I?
Yes,
I am.
every fucking week.
Why does it matter?
Goddamn headphones.
It's more comfortable the other way.
It is. It's true. It's more comfortable. Because turn yours around, it'd be a dream.
I want to do it. I'm going to do it.
I don't know why that pisses me off so much.
It feels terrible.
You have to have it at the top of your head, though.
It's not. It's not. Whatever. Do whatever you want. Fuck it. I don't care.
Gus is
All
Gus is
right.
losing the will to live.
I've lost it.
So, what happened in your life last night, Gus? That's made you so mad this morning?
Nothing.
Yeah, why are you mad?
Because usually when I'm mad,
I think I'm mad at myself because I scheduled a meeting this morning for 10 a.m. when obviously we have to record the podcast.
Are you embarrassed by that?
Yeah, that's fucked up. That's so stupid.
we could always
I
do
was
the
wondering
podcast in the
that.
afternoon.
No.
No?
No.
We can always do the
we
meeting.
used to. We tried a couple times to record afternoon podcasts, like early on, but the energy level's much lower.
Yeah.
Like people
Really?
are like tired.
We
and-
used to do them on Wednesday morning, and then
Yeah.
we'd come out later that day. Used
Yeah.
to really turn them around a lot quicker.
Yeah, Lindsay sucks and is slow.
No, I just listen to music.
Wow. Wow.
Sorry, Lindsay,
Lindsay's
don't
having a
come
tough time because I don't know if you know this or not, but the impression that Gavin did just a little while ago about people complaining at him after the streaming test, that was Lindsay. You were doing an impression of Lindsay.
Yeah, Brandon was doing it too.
Yeah, I think
Oh, so
that was
Brandon was more upset.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
more vocal about it.
So I was saying, if your impression of Lindsay is go, 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 go.
So we, in testing the streaming podcast, we had to, we're trying to run. We have to run these really long cables from the set to like the control room.
Yeah.
Because it's very high tech.
Right.
I bought a 113 foot long HDMI cable.
What the fuck did that
Wow.
cost?
It's so long. I'm not going to tell you how much it costs. It's so long that it has a signal booster built in line into the cable. And if your
There's like
signal's
a fat bit in the cable.
yeah, if the signal's too weak, there's like a little knob, and you can boost the signal in the
What?
in
It's
the
got a
in
knob on
line.
this cable.
It was $99.
Oh, that's not bad.
That's
Yeah.
really
Well,
not
because
bad.
you put one in your wall that was like $800 or something. You
This was a
lunatic.
long time ago. This was a long time ago. I had a 40-foot HDMI cable. I think they charged me like $500 for it.
Were they more expensive back then? do you
I
think,
don't
or is
know.
No,
that
I think
just
you just got
got
stooped.
screwed?
I
Got
got stooped.
stoofened.
That was my old house when I had a media room. Gavin came over and claimed that that's the reason. The only reason I'm good at Halo is because I had a big screen that I played it on. Like
Well, I thought that was the case, and I thought your media room was so cool that I recreated it in my house
Yeah.
in England with my parents. And I was way worse at Halo on that big thing.
yeah, it's harder, right?
You can't see everything at once. You actually have to physically turn your head.
you end up like really moving all your neck around. Let me be honest with you. I miss being good at video games.
Yeah,
I'm lousy now.
I know.
Oh, do you remember when we were the best in the world at Griffball?
I remember that very well.
Well, when it's a smaller pool you're competing against, of course you're going to be better.
Gavin, it's very hard for me to feel bad for you considering that I'm now in the finals for the Achievement Hunter Horse
Shut
tournament.
up! You,
Just
I
such
should
a-
have won.
Such a
Okay.
lofty position. You should have won. It was like I beat you 5-2. You got destroyed.
You'd already seen all the maps or something.
I've been killing the only person. Look at this. He's just grasping at straws. The only person who even stood a chance against me was Miles. We came down to that last
Yeah.
little bit. It
So
was
the final is you versus Kerry.
the final is me versus Carrie.
Are you excited?
Nah, I'm not going to do it.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I'm too busy with the podcast.
I'm just going to put it off.
Why not?
I would.
Just not going to do it.
Let's put money on this.
You always make bets.
What
What is up with you and
Dude,
bets?
I bet Michael recently $500 that he couldn't eat a 5-pound gummy bear.
Oh, I can't wait for this.
Have you
Oh
seen
my
that gummy bear yet?
gosh.
No.
It's-
Has this happened yet?
No.
When's
Well,
it going to happen?
Jack had to write down a contract because apparently I've got a reputation for changing bets
Exactly.
after. No, I don't.
You do.
You
You,
do.
do.
You do.
I always pay off my bets.
Okay, no, that's not. It is true that you do pay off your bets, but here's the way it works. You'll say, "I will bet you $300 you can't chug that cup of coffee," and the person says, "I'll do it." You go, "Wait, 100."
Yeah.
No. That's what happens. Usually it's
No.
this. I'll say, I bet you 100 that you can't down this thing of barbecue sauce. And they'll be like, done. And they'll be like, oh, but I can wash it down with water and I have all this time to do it. I was like, no, now you're changing it. So we have to now write down every single thing about a bet and then we both sign
So
it.
where did this gummy bear come from?
I think Michael's brother sent it to him. It's like a newborn baby
It
to
is.
hold. And it's like flappy and like dense.
So it is like a newborn baby. Exactly the same.
You have to support his head.
When are you gonna? When's he gonna eat it?
I don't know. We still haven't signed and shook on it because it's $500 that I could probably spend on something way better.
He can
And
do it. £5? That's a lot. That's, like, it doesn't matter if it's gummy bear or not.
He has 90 minutes to do it.
This is the first
And
bet.
also,
Can you throw up?
No, not until the end. And he has to let me film it. That's on the contract as well when he throws out. But I lost $100 to Michael when I gave him 4 minutes to chug barbecue sauce. You saw the video, right?
I did.
Yeah.
He just goes, he takes a sip, and then he's like, "You're screwed." He downs it in about 30 seconds. I was like, "Damn!"
couldn't
I paid
believe that.
$100 for that.
You
It cost me like how much a minute? I don't know.
You started
A
at
second.
800 with that bet, by the way. We're talking about going
Yeah,
down
you're
with
trying to
bets.
get Karen to come in on it
Well,
for
I
a
was,
lower
trying, I was
price.
trying to do like a reverse auction. I'll be like, I'm going to pay Michael $800 to do it. Who's going to do it for $700? And everyone's like, yeah, I'll do it. And it got down to $100.
I think I might be able to eat the gummy bear faster than I could do the barbecue sauce.
Dude, I can't do that barbecue
I wouldn't have
sauce.
done that barbecue sauce.
Gross.
But this is a bet that actually I think that you could win just based on the fact the person can't do it. Like all your other bets are based on will they do it.
Yeah.
This is can they do it.
Yeah.
I don't think that he can do this.
Yeah,
And also-
5 pounds is a lot of shit to eat. It doesn't matter what it is.
Especially when it's all sugar.
We also,
Yeah.
it's 6,000 calories, which I don't know what that is in terms of days because I don't know
It's
what
like
calories.
that's like
but-
3 days
That's
worth
2
of
days
3
worth.
days.
nutrition.
It's of
I-
nutrition, but it's like 20 days worth of sugar.
And also,
Yeah.
he asked like how much water he can have with it. So I was like, yeah, you can have a pint of water with it. But then I realised that stuff expands in water.
pint of
Gray
water-
did a test with a.
yeah.
That's a pint. It's a glass.
Yeah, but
That's a lot.
if that's in your stomach with all that stuff, it's going to be expanding.
Yeah, you guys told me this. I got to test this. He says if you put a gummy bear
Dude,
in water, it expands.
I've never seen
I
that.
don't think
Kerry
so.
or Gray did like a gummy worm in water, and he showed me a picture, and one was like 50% bigger than the other.
I don't think so. Have you ever not ate a gummy bear but not chewed it, just like sucked on it? It's not like expanded in your mouth before.
She makes a good point.
So I don't
Well,
think
saliva is
that,
different than water.
He makes a good point. Everyone has
All
good
right.
points.
Do you want to
Okay,
put in a good
so
point?
let's
Anyway,
test this then.
Anyway,
Kara, it's back to you now.
We have lots of tests
I bet
after the
you.
podcast.
I bet you $100, Bertie, that you will lose the tournament.
I'm not playing the finals.
You have to play the finals.
No, I don't. That's the way it works now. I'm too busy with the podcast.
I love that you have to make an excuse. You could just be like, I own the company. No.
No.
This tournament will never end.
No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. That's somebody else's production. I don't have to take part.
What's wrong? You afraid?
No, I'm out. No, I will kick the shit out of Carrie. Watch me. Watch me. I'm going to win this thing. I'm going to crush.
What you
How
put-
sad are you? How sad are you? It's down to now 2 of the main people from Red vs. Blue production. And all the Achievement Hunter guys who's played video games all day.
Who won the tournament last year?
All
Michael.
day.
Michael? Mm.
All day.
To be honest, I'm gutted because I'd never lost. When I first arrived, I played horse one every week. Then Caleb beat me.
Yeah?
Frickin' Caleb.
Yeah, that'll
And then you
happen.
beat me, so I'm just not going to play ever again.
Why?
I played Trials Horse with Dave the other week. I won.
I heard
Put
you
you in a
upset by that.
round.
She
I got
beat-
one round.
She did win one round.
I heard he was upset by that. He was insulting.
Gavin was upset?
Yeah.
Were you upset, Gavin?
Well, did you think I was upset when we were doing the commentary?
I don't think so.
All right, good.
Kara, when are you going to get in on one of the Let's Plays?
I want to, as soon as they'll let me play.
The best part was that look on her face.
Do you
That's
play
what
any
that-
games? Do you know, like, because it's all funny, like, haha, I don't know, I have to play a game. Do you ever play a game? Do you have an Xbox or anything?
No.
Oh.
Did you see that there's a Team Fortress 2 update coming out August 15th that will have like a kind of like a survival mode, kind of like a horde mode, where you play with 6 people who play against an army of robots.
And it's
like
co-op.
in waves.
That sounds fun. I never got into Team Fortress 2.
Team Fortress 2 is awesome.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
lot
it
of
looked
fun.
good. I was just so bad at it.
Podcast should do a Let's Play in that. I mean, we should come up with our own phrase for that.
What's that?
Achievement Hunter has Let's Plays.
Pod play.
What did we call it before when the Drunk Tank was doing?
I don't think we ever had a name for it.
We just called
it Game Podcast.
we had specific names like
It was like the Drunk Tank plays, whatever. Like,
Yeah.
this week the Drunks are playing Halo ODST or whatever.
okay. Well, we'll come up with something. I want to play. I want
Yeah,
to play.
we should do. We have to find friends.
this point-
though.
Doing Let's Plays is my favourite thing to do every week.
It
And I
is-
even like editing them as well.
It is
It's so fun.
the absolute best. I think form of like gameplay videos because
Yeah.
it's people playing the games and just chatting and talking.
And just genuine reactions to stuff
Right.
is always the best. I always loved that video in Halo 2 where I guess someone was filming the screen. It's like the genuine reaction where someone shoots a warthog with a rocket and and you see it's split screen with 3 people. So you see the thing get fired on one screen and it like goes over someone on this screen. Someone dies and it just lands on their head. But the reaction is the best bit of that. It's like, oh my god, it's like a really good.
How
film.
was it?
I think it's on Blood Gulch.
Yeah,
I think it's a
on
ghost
coagulation.
that flies.
Oh, is it a ghost?
I think it is. Yeah, I know exactly the video that you're talking about.
It's good though.
Do you remember which website you saw it on?
No. Do you?
I think I saw it on Break.
Big boys?
Of all, yeah, big-boys.com.
I think it was already Break by then. It changed names in 05?
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I thought it was a Halo 1.
Maybe
wait,
maybe
no,
04.
it was definitely Break. He's coming up with the Big Boys thing. I think we're debating whether that was Halo 1 or Halo 2. Now I'm going to look this up.
It was Halo 2.
Do you want to bet?
I want to bet you that you won't win this tournament. 100.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to play in the tournament. It's over.
So I did something dumb recently. You let
Oh,
me...
really?
Well, when I moved here, I brought my UK Xbox with me because all my games are PAL.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I wanted to play them on my Xbox, so I don't want to buy all the games again, the American versions. So when I want to play a game that I previously owned, I've been unplugging my American Xbox and plugging in my British Xbox to put the games in. Last night, just for hell of it, I was like, I'm going to try one of my UK games in my US Xbox. They work.
Yeah, I assume...
They're all region free. I didn't even know. I thought-
Once it's HD, it doesn't matter. Like, PAL and NTSC are a big deal in standard def, but HD just works universally.
Why? It's different frame rate.
Even in HD? Y'all don't have what frame rate do you use?
25.
For 720p?
It would be 50 for 720p if it's double frame rate, or 25 in 1080p.
So 720p in Europe is 50 frames a second?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
What?
Why can't we all just get on the same fucking page? Like, we had a chance to finally fucking standardize it.
Newer, standardized to us.
What?
NTSC came first, and
Yeah,
it
but
sucks.
fuck NTSC and PAL. I'm talking independent of that shit.
Well, at least the resolution became the same.
Yeah, great.
Anyway, apparently 90% of all Xbox games are completely region free, and I've just been wasting time by plugging in different Xboxes every time.
That's so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm mad now.
Why are you mad?
Because the fucking frame rates are different.
How do you feel about electricity?
Like, just so stupid.
Electricity
Like
is stupid.
even within countries, sometimes electricity is stupid. Like, if you remember in Japan, after they had the tsunami last year,
Right.
they couldn't reroute power internally in the same fucking country. Like, the power plants on the west side of Japan could not supply power to the east side of Japan because they used different standards.
That must make you mad.
That's infuriating.
So different sides of the same country.
Horrible.
Yeah, different sides of the same country. They couldn't just be like, oh, well, let's take power from that side. Nope. Didn't
So
work.
what is the most important thing at this point that should be standardized around the whole planet? Like, what is the most annoying thing that changes country to country?
Cell phone flashes. That's my big thing. That's all I give a shit about right now.
Electricity.
Yeah, electricity
Yeah,
and cords.
Man, there's probably something better than that. I mean, you gotta go with language at this point, right?
That's true.
Language.
Although we're getting to the point now where it seems like it's gonna be...
Wouldn't it be funny
Like,
if...
we had no problems in Japan. We had no
Well, if
issues.
you have like phones and apps and shit like that now, right?
I bet
Absolutely.
At one point, it'd be awesome if you could just talk, like, select a language if you're, in Japan and select Japanese on your phone and talk into it in English. And
Yeah,
then
there is an app for that.
the speaker speaks out.
It's called Say
Japanese.
Hello.
Really?
Yep, they
That's
have it.
awesome.
There was a
Does it work
there was a
well,
game
then?
for the PSP that did that too.
But then that's weird. Then you're like walking around talking to people with your phone up to your mouth, like, and you hear like this like robotic voice talking.
Why isn't there a language that is just intranslatable?
There
Like-
is.
Oh, there is? There's a language somewhere where you literally can't put English words to the noises they make.
Oh, I was going to say that the standard... You know what we should all teach everyone, which would make the most amount of sense? We should all learn our native language, and then we should all learn international sign language. I was going to say, I guess it is American sign language,
yeah,
isn't it?
ASL.
Yeah.
Is there really... There's a different... Fuck.
We should, No. There's an easy solution to this problem. Everyone learns English.
There you go.
American English.
Yeah, that's the solution?
Yeah,
The
American
one you know?
English. Yeah.
Is that the most prolific language at this point?
When pilots are flying, English is the language of flight. No matter where you are in the world, pilots and towers communicate in English.
That's absolutely
Wow.
true.
Every pilot knows English.
Yes, and
Yes.
every tower controller.
Even in
Really?
like
Does
rural China.
not matter. Everyone, if you're
That
flying a
can't be
plane
true.
and you're communicating with the tower, you have to speak English.
What
why,
about-
why do you think that is?
Because we invented it.
That is an example of setting a standard and then the standard proliferating across the globe.
Okay, say there's like some company...
Is it on Earth? Yes. Fuck it. You're going to ask me a retarded ass question.
No, okay, so there's
Gus is
like
done
a
today.
small landing strip in rural China that only flies to another landing strip in China. They probably don't speak
They
English.
probably don't have a tower.
Why?
If it's a small strip, they probably is just like VFR, like visual flight.
But surely,
rules.
even if you're in a plane, you need to announce to the air that you're in the air.
Not if you,
You announce to the air.
If you
air,
are-
listen.
I'm in you.
if you operate under a certain
took two
altitude with a small
passengers.
enough plane,
We're now
you
entering
fly
air.
on what's called visual flight lift, where you don't file a flight plan and you just fly.
Okay, I want to do that. Then I can just start speaking Spanish over the airwaves.
Tower, this is Bravo Alpha. My co-pilot Kara has an announcement for you.
We are now entering the air.
So after my talk of flight simulators last week, I had a pilot for an airline email me.
Oh yeah, this is so cool.
And he's emailed me like operations manual and crew quick reference manuals for the Boeing 737. It's awesome. I've got like 2,000 pages of documents all about the 737, like outlining what all of the switches do, where they are,
So does
what
that-
to do in emergencies.
So that includes troubleshooting, like if you lose fuel or like something bad
Yeah.
happens. That's so
It's
cool.
it's like a 400-page quick reference manual that they say like they have in the cockpit in case something goes wrong.
Emphasis on the quick.
Yeah, it's like holy shit, this thing's fucking massive.
Last what I hear from a pilot is, well, that's weird.
Yeah.
Let's get out the
Hey,
manual.
where's that big book? Yeah.
The amount of the calm that pilots have is so interesting to me.
Do you remember when those two planes collided in Brazil? It was that new Embraer, I believe, and that
What, in the air
737.
or on the
Yeah,
ground?
they collided in the air. The 737, everyone died, but the Embraer was still flyable. Like they just lost part of their winglet and their left wing, I believe. The pilots, over the rainforest in Brazil, they pulled out like they have a book that lists all of the airstrips in the area, and they start like looking through the book like crazy, trying to find a strip they can land at.
Seems like
Wow.
a computer should be doing that. Like,
Yeah.
at that
Wait,
point.
the pilots are doing this while they're
Well, they're crash
crashing.
landing. Yeah,
They don't have some kind of like.
when they
system
found one, it
that-
was like a small military strip in the middle of the jungle, and they landed
Wow.
on it.
But there's nothing crazier than seeing a plane going in the opposite direction from a plane. Like when you see the vapor trails in the air, they're always kind of moving kind of slow. But when you're on a plane, you see another plane just go like straight past. You're amazed at how fast they are.
That's what-
Imagine being on a plane where they just clip. It would just be like, normal, like, and it's like the
It's
biggest
like you would
smash.
hear it, like in the last second, you hear like it coming at you, and then
I don't know if
Well,
you
it's
would.
like Doppler effect. When you're going that fast, the sound is
Yeah.
all behind you. There's very little sound in front of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I'm saying at the last second you would hear
Oh, right.
all of a sudden it comes out of nowhere.
Yeah, they said from that in this case, from the time that the big plane saw the little plane on the horizon to the time they hit was probably less than a second.
God.
Oh my god.
How do you think about how much space there is in the air? How much volume of air?
Why didn't they tell the air that they were in the air in the same area?
Somebody didn't follow procedure.
I guess not.
Tower, we're in the air. Oh shit, we have to.
Yeah, but the odds of two objects colliding in that space are like so ridiculous.
Oh, I know.
And that brings me to another story I forgot to bring up on the podcast. A couple months ago, there was a midair collision, I think in Virginia, between a plane operated by the FAA and a plane operated by the NTSB. And since they're the two organizations that investigate air incidents,
So they were investigating a
No,
crash.
no, they had to call the Canadians
Oh my god.
to come and investigate the
They needed
collision.
someone impartial.
Right.
That's so funny.
How do you think that phone call?
It's like,
The Canadian company probably just put down the phone and just went.
it's our time to shine.
I don't know. It seems like with those two agencies too, you could not ever recuse yourself enough. Like it's still going to be like bad blood in some way.
Yeah.
Although pilots do have a weird. If you get far enough up in any endeavor where it's hard to get into it, like everyone gets super objective. Like I can't imagine that what would take place on the ground with cars where they'd hit, where they have to bring in an independent authority. Like if a fire truck hit a cop car, would they like go to somebody else to determine?
I
would they-
assume the cops would still
They probably go to this. Yeah.
investigate. Yeah.
And the cops say, fucking fire engine was in the way.
No, actually, if a fire engine or an ambulance runs into a car at any point, well, if their sirens are on, then they'll keep going. It'll look like a hit and run, but then they'll end up paying for it. They're responsible. So
The ambulances?
So fire trucks and ambulances are allowed to back cars off the
Yep.
road. That's not safe.
I think it's awesome.
No.
Just generates more business.
Let me-
We'll come back and get you later.
This is a big chain effect where one ambulance hits a car and they send an ambulance to sort that out. It hits 7 cars on the way and then 7 ambulances
I
come.
played a lot of Grand Theft Auto. That's exactly how that works, yep.
When I lived in Puerto Rico, cars do not get out of the way for ambulances. So you'd see ambulances just stuck in traffic and no one getting out of the way.
murder somebody. What's worse, to be waiting on the ambulance or to be in the ambulance in that case?
To be waiting. Because if you're in it, you at least have a paramedic.
Did you ever see that clip? Speaking of stuff...
I just couldn't resist. I'm sorry.
Speaking of stuff smashing into each other in the air, did you ever see that clip of the two...
What clip?
The two skydivers who collided in the air. Did you ever see that?
What?
So there was two skydivers doing some sort of stunt air show, and they go away from each other and they go whooshing past each other really close. And one guy hit another. So I think what happened is one guy hit the guy's legs with his shoulder, and the guy's arm severed both of his legs. They were going at such speed that his arm just took the other guy's legs off. They literally, you can see the video, they just go, and they just end up tumbling. It's like, oh. And I think the guy who lost his legs actually survived. But
How do you land that? You still deploy the parachute?
He deployed his...
and stuck the landing?
He deployed his chute and just just floated, bleeding heavily, floated all the way to the ground and survived.
I mean, you would think, if you probably are in shock at that point and you're just working on, instinct, but you would think that I should fall further because I don't want to... I want to minimize my time in the air until someone can help me, right?
Right.
Gus? So it's
I would think so.
Yeah. And plus, if he's really thinking, you think on his feet, which he doesn't have anymore. But if he can really think that well,
he can aim for a hospital.
No, he can even think I don't weigh as much. I weigh significantly less than I did about 2 minutes ago, so I can actually fall further before I pop my chute. Oy, oy, oy.
Can you imagine just walking below and just having two legs land on you?
No.
Or it looks like blood falling from the sky.
You just get kicked in the head.
Raining blood.
Oh, I can't find that video. But there was also one of this daredevil skydiver guy who would come really close to objects when he was skydiving, he'd be really close to the ground, going at the same level of cliffs. So there was also a guy who went really close to a bridge. He would come in. People would watch and stand on the bridge as this company would kind of like straight by the railings of the bridge. But one time he just hit the railings of the bridge and just went everywhere. Dead.
I think I know what you're talking about.
And there was a guy in front of him who was just who had already pulled his chute, and apparently he was just floating down and was just showered in blood. He was like, "What just happened?" And he couldn't even see the guy because he'd split into so many pieces.
Oh my!
I saw one like that, but it's those guys who are complete and total fucking lunatics, where they jump in those
the suits,
the wingsuits,
the flying squirrel suits.
That was probably what it was.
Yeah, and it was I guess his family went to take a picture, and he was going to zoom down behind them, by the cliff. So they stood on the edge of the cliff, and he clips the edge of the cliff on his way down, with his legs, and completely.
Surely at that speed, they're just going to come off.
I think what's the worst injury to you when you hear about it? You're like, okay, that guy's fucked up. What is that? Broken back?
Dick cut off?
Yeah, it's
got to be something dick related.
Broken neck or something like that.
To me, it's when someone talks about breaking their pelvis. If you break your pelvis, that should never break.
What about
ever.
The worst injury is when Johnny Knoxville landed on that fucking motorcycle.
Yeah.
What, and he broke his nose off?
He literally
the
broke
handlebar,
his neck.
went up his dick. He had to...
He was bleeding out.
Yeah, he was bleeding out his dick, and I think he had to have a catheter for 3 years.
Yeah, and it was all his knob was scar tissue, so you had to stretch it out.
Yep. So there you go.
that
Dick injury.
Did they ever air that?
I've seen that video.
Oh,
yeah.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, you haven't.
What was it on?
seen
Was it on Jackass?
Here.
I don't remember what it was on.
Oh.
Long time ago on the podcast, we might have mentioned this, but fuck you. I'm going to talk about it again. Did you know that there used to be a female member of Jackass?
No.
Before they got the MTV show, before they got really famous, there was a female member of Jackass, and she got hurt. And she's the only member of Jackass who's ever gotten physically injured.
Except for Ryan Dunn.
Well, except for Ryan Dunn, but he wasn't doing a Jackass stunt.
He was being a jackass, though.
Yeah, and she got hurt. She was doing a sledding thing, and she I want to say she broke her back, maybe even broke her pelvis.
Wow.
But and so I think they even pay her like she's a member of the cast.
So
and,
is she from CKY or from the other side?
I don't know. Here, I'll look it up while you guys talk. I'll look a female member of Jackass.
I didn't know about that.
I had never heard that either. I don't think we've talked about that in the podcast.
Interesting.
Stephanie Hodge, the lost female member of
No, she's in it.
Jackass. Well, she's appeared in it, but she's never done any of the
she's been in it a
stunts.
few times. She's always plays the nurse who collects spunk samples or something like that.
So she's still earning that money then.
Hodge, a model actress turned agent for a Los Angeles media company, served as the cast's token girl in the show's early days. That is until a stunt broke her back and pelvis, nearly paralyzing her.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe I've only seen her in the show before that happened then, because she was always walking around. But the worst thing to me about breaking a pelvis is the pelvis is the only sort of big. It's like so structural, isn't it? It's like it's really thick bone.
Mm-hmm.
Just imagine it all collapsing and just being like soft where your pelvis is meant to be. That just sounds the worst. Like all your stuff is
It's
just
like the main
falling.
center bone in your
Yeah,
body.
like the
that
ribs.
kind
The
of-
ribs are like that, but ribs are all separate.
Right.
Pelvis is just like one giant bone. I
Right,
guess it's the
like-
same as like.
Plus, the
flattening
ribs
your-
are flexible. They have like so much cartilage
Right.
in them.
Yeah.
They,
Well, and then if your pelvis is broken, that affects your legs and your ribs and everything else too. You can't really do a whole lot.
I never really realised that your lungs don't breathe.
No, they don't do anything.
They just sit there. They're just sacks of air.
Yep.
I always thought that it was your lungs pushing out your ribs
Oh.
when it was, in fact, the muscles in between your ribs.
The
pulling- It's like
diaphragm?
like bellows, isn't it? Like when you suck
Yeah.
in air to. It's crazy.
You just change the shape of your chest, and your lungs expand to fill that area, and that's what draws in breath.
I think we said like bellows. That's
Yeah.
actually a really good
What the diaphragm
analogy.
is.
Yeah.
That's why if you get a chest wound, it breaks that essentially that vacuum seal, which is why you can't breathe, and it's supposed to be one of the most horrifying feelings ever.
Well, that's why they do the compressions, isn't it? It's to
Yeah, I
suck
think that-
air in and stuff.
Yeah, and I think that's the lung.
and that in the heart as well.
That's like a collapsed lung, is what they call it. It's like you get air in there, so it like pushes basically the air flows in and pushes your lung out of the way. As weird as that sounds, so they like suck the air back out, and you're like,
Oh my gosh, that's weird. Well, that's how you get the hiccups when your diaphragm and your lungs are off beat.
What's your obsession with the diaphragm?
I
You
don't
keep trying to
know.
bring it up.
I don't know. I'm just thinking of the name.
that is
Sorry.
the correct part of the anatomy. That is the lining between your abdomen and
Y'all
your
keep saying lungs.
thorax.
I'm saying
All
diaphragm.
right, Dave.
Ugh.
Tell us everything you know about the diaphragm.
Well, my name's not Dave, so I'm not telling you
right.
anything.
I
Are
love
you
that.
finally annoyed at that?
It's so catching on as
She
well.
never liked it. She never liked
She always
it.
played it off initially, though.
Because I know the more that I react, like
There was a
you know.
conversation the other day. Someone came in and just said, "Have you seen Dave?" And everyone went, "No, I haven't seen Dave." And then the person just walked out, and I was like, "Yes!" Like she wasn't even there to benefit.
I have to admit, though, I tried to give you a nickname when you first showed up here.
Bum Bum.
I was calling you Bum Bum, and you didn't like that either. You did not like the
Bum
people
Bum.
calling you Bum
Hello,
Bum.
boom boom.
Hello, Bum Bum.
Is that why you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, I never got that.
What, you thought I was just making weird noises?
Yeah, I thought you were just talking like a British person.
No, I was calling Gavin Bum Bum.
Oh, okay, I can get behind that.
Dude, you know my friend Dan. We call each other B. I'm not sure why that is the case, but for 5 years I've just called him B, and he's called me B. But
Aw, how cute.
and in all our texts, it's like, "All right, B, what are you doing tonight, B? Do you want to come over, B?" It's like, all right, Michael."
I told him to come in here.
Alright,
Michael's
Gavin.
here.
But the amount, like, I don't want people to know that we call each other B, so the amount of editing I do in the Slow-Mo Guys to cut out all... Because I never call him Dan in the Slow-Mo Guys, and he never calls me Gav. We just call each other B, but I have to edit it out because it sounds... It
Come
makes
sit
me
next to
cringe.
Kara over here. You guys can share the
So-
mic for a second. So Michael's joining us here to talk about his gummy bear
You
bed.
brought the gummy bear in. It's collapsing under its own weight.
Yeah. It's awesome. It's so
Hey,
heavy.
pull up a seat.
It is so heavy. So we were talking earlier, Michael, about the contract that you now have with Gabby to eat
Do you wanna read it out, buddy, man?
pound. Oh, dude,
Sure.
you
Oh
got
my
the
gosh, you
contract.
actually
Yeah.
brought this today.
I will
Right.
read this
All right,
officially.
wait. Who wrote this?
Jack wrote it while
We need
Gavin and I
someone-
discussed it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Jack wrote it?
Yeah.
It says
It's-
Michael
that's-
Jones.
That's revision 2, by the way.
Michael
But
Jones
he
will
didn't sign it yet.
I haven't
so-
signed it yet.
So it doesn't matter. And Jack wrote this, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it says Michael Jones will defiantly eat. All right. Bet between Michael Jones and Gavin Freed. Gavin Freed bets that Michael Jones will not finish an entire 5-pound gummy bear treat in less than an hour and a half. Period.
Finish. What
90
the fuck
mi-
does that mean?
90 minutes. Period.
It's people from Finland.
Don't sign this.
What?
Finish, that's too vague.
What do you mean too
I
vague?
guess.
What
If
does that mean?
There's further
Okay.
there's further description in the contract. If Michael eats the gummy bear entirely, meaning open mouth with no remaining pieces, all swallowed within 90 minutes, Gavin will pay Michael Jones $500 American dollars.
And I did point out the American dollar part.
$500 American.
Yeah, Gavin's like, we'll full pay you
This is
in quid.
this is the worst contract ever. I don't know who hired Jack to be your lawyer. Should get a fucking refund.
Jack's in charge of all Achievement Hunter base bets.
All
At this
right.
point, he's
Michael will
the,
be allowed 1 pint of liquid to drink during the bet. No other liquids will be allowed. Michael will not be allowed to eat anything other than the gummy bear. What are you going to put, like, on bread?
I don't know, I guess.
If Michael regurgitates to the
That was
point where
Gavin.
anything exits his mouth, the bet is over and Gavin will be declared the victor. You should clarify
yeah, what about-
while you're eating the gummy bear, not afterwards. You can throw up afterwards.
Also,
we've got that in there. We
anything
keep it
leaving the mouth, so you can't mouth breathe.
What?
It just says anything leaving the mouth.
So
Gotta
like air.
Yeah.
Air too.
All right, we'll add air to the contract.
We'll make sure there's no planes flying around.
Can
Yeah.
exhale breaths.
So now this is an interesting rule that I didn't even think about. Michael is not allowed to use utensils of any kind.
No.
Why not?
I want him.
Ah, it's
I
gonna
want
be
like
sticky.
say you found a baby bear in the woods and
Yeah.
you're really hungry. You have to just eat the bear. Like you have to hold it, like tear shreds out of the bear with your teeth. Like ah. I want him to just be
like a
like
carnivore.
gnawing at the bear. What?
Like a carnivore, some kind of like rabbit.
That's
So
that's
Gus.
really the hardest part of the bet.
If you found a 5-pound bear made of sugar in the wild and you had to take it down, Gavin is saying you couldn't use utensils to do that.
Okay.
You wouldn't use a knife and fork in the woods, would you?
No, just the way a caveman would eat a gummy bear.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for here.
Just like when
Alright.
it's found in its natural habitat like this in the
Alright.
gummy
You
bear
gotta be
forest.
careful because the mother gummy bear's not gonna be far behind. That bitch is like 2,000 pounds. She'll fuck you up.
Say you find a rabbit in the woods and cook it. What? How are you going to eat it? You're just going to eat it with your
No,
teeth.
you have
right?
to find a fucking 5-pound gummy bear in the woods, Gavin.
I didn't
I don't
say-
understand how you bring the woods into this bet at all. Like, I don't even understand what the fuck that means. It's just eat a gummy bear. You're like, if you were on Mars and an alien gave you a gummy bear, like, just fucking eat it. That's it.
All right, let me see this thing. Oh my god.
Like,
Goodness.
It's heavy.
an hour
Okay.
and a half sounds like a lot.
No, here. This is for audio's sake. I'm going to drop the gummy bear on the table. Ready? This is the sound of what Michael's going to eat.
The whole table shook.
Good lord.
All right, that's
That actually
going to be
knocked
healthy.
Kara out of her chair.
Here, give me that. It's fucking annoying me.
That is heavy.
Kara keeps crinkling it.
Yeah.
So listen, this for clarification on here, it does not say that Michael is allowed to throw up afterwards. It just says if he does, you can film it. You should get that in here.
Okay.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
He can throw up. He finishes the last bite.
Yeah.
Right. Does he have to keep it down for a certain amount of time? You're gonna throw
No,
up.
as soon as the bet's
Give me
over,
that.
he can get rid of it. in
When
any
is
way
the
he wants.
bet over?
The
The
bet's
soon as
over
he swallows
when
the
the
last
last bit goes
When
in.
I eat it all or 90 minutes.
Michael,
Yeah.
suggestion?
Yeah.
Definitely throw up because
Well, no shit.
this
I don't
might
wanna
send you
die.
into like an insulin coma.
More importantly, Bernie, I'm gonna get fat.
Can you become diabetic?
Well, you're gonna gain at least 5 pounds.
Now I'm not.
Can you
it's all
become
coming out of
diabetic
me
from
once
one
I'm done.
meal?
You might be able to damage
Okay.
Let's
yourself.
record it and find out.
enough.
I'm gonna read the nutrition information here.
Do it.
Oh my
Right.
god!
There are 51 servings in this package.
Wow.
There's 120 calories, so that's like 6,120 calories total.
Well, just think. There's 51 servings. A serving is a tenth of a pound. Anyway, go ahead.
Total carbohydrates, 29 grams. That's 10% of your recommended daily value. So that's 510% of your recommended daily value carbs.
It's good.
140. Oh, wait, sorry. 1,480 grams of carbs.
It's 19 grams of sugar
There's a
per
number.
serving. So 19 times 51.
19 times 51 is 969 grams of sugar. I'm going to divide that by how many grams of sugar in a Coke? 35? 38?
I think it's
Well, how
35.
do you know all these things?
They're old,
should've
Gavin.
gotten
They
gummy
need to like
worm.
worry about this
Maybe.
because it's like their
I
health
still
and
Hold on, I
they
wanna get this
poo a
number.
lot.
28 Cokes. It's like drinking
That's
28
it?
straight Cokes.
That's not so bad.
Nothing.
You know what's weird, Davin? How do I know that? I've always had a problem with nutritional information in food, and I think they do this on purpose.
They
Americans.
totally do.
Yeah, we talked about this. They'll just obscure it by just using a different measurement.
We don't use the metric system in this country for anything, and all of our nutritional information is in metric.
Yeah,
And
and it's the
there's
same,
no
with,
explanation
it's the
for
same
that.
with us
The other
with
thing is,
petrol costs.
in-
It's everything's miles per gallon, and you buy everything by the gallon. But
But
you
like
know.
even on the Coke,
You
it's
buy it
like
by the liter,
how
not
big
the
is a
gallon.
Coke? Michael, how big is a Coke? A can of Coke?
A can, 12
Yeah,
ounces.
12 ounces. Everybody knows that, right?
Is it?
So- but how many milliliters is it in a
A
can?
million?
I know.
Do you do?
355.
You okay?
It says 12 ounces and in parentheses 355 milliliters.
But everybody knows it's called a
Nobody gives a
12-ounce
shit about
Coke,
that,
but they
though.
tell you it's got 35 grams of sugar. If they said this is a 12-ounce Coke and it's got 2 ounces of sugar, you'd be like, the fuck, I'm not drinking this. It's 2 ounces of sugar in a 12-ounce Coke.
That's
Well,
why
so I
they
have a
don't do
question
that.
about you for nutrition information in Europe. Like here, we use calories. Over there, do they use joules and kilojoules, or do they use calories as well?
I've seen joules and kilojoules on the
These
pack. I don't
don't
know.
they?
I don't really even know what a calorie is.
Nobody does.
What the hell's a
I
calorie?
think it's the amount of energy or
something to do with setting
it's the
food on
amount
fire
of
or
energy
something.
required to raise a kilogram of no.
See,
it's
this is
a
what
kilogram of water,
Why?
1 degree Celsius.
You got
a
it
number.
right. You got it right, but it's not a kilogram.
How much
I
is it?
believe it's a gram of water.
Is it a gram? Okay.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, think about
Yeah,
it.
it's a lot of
Energy
energy.
for a 1 calorie.
So you set fire to a bit of food underwater.
What?
What?
And
Where-
it heats it.
You just convert the energy.
What?
It's the amount of energy required to raise the temperature of water.
But how do you get energy? Burn it.
I guess you got to create heat.
So it's
Your
just,
body doesn't burn the food when you eat it to create energy.
no.
It
Well,
digests.
it's the same thing though, isn't it?
Same thing.
Like if you were to set fire to a meal, wouldn't it raise the temperature of?
Yeah, if you set something on fire, it might raise the temperature of something,
Yes, when
Gavin.
things are burning, they get hotter.
I swear, I did like something.
Would eating
I'm just gonna.
a gummy bear be the same as lighting this table on fire?
So let me just ask you this. So in an average can of
No,
Coke,
what you were going for there?
average can of Coke, it's 12 ounces. There is how many ounces of that is sugar? Do you think in 12 ounces?
I'm gonna say
So confused right now.
Do you know?
I'm gonna say
0.5.
no. It's gonna be higher than that. I'm gonna say 1.5.
Hey, you're pretty much spot on. It's 1.4 ounces of that Coke is
Wow.
sugar.
Damn right.
Think about that. Think about that.
So there's
like
you can have a
So
layer of sugar on
It's
the bottom.
over
of
10% of it.
over 10% of the can. is
So
like
how
would
much
be.
of the gummy bear is sugar? Like 10%?
God, I don't know. That's a good question.
If you break, it's almost 50% because if the serving size is the serving size is 40 grams, and per serving it's 19 grams of sugar.
It's like eating a mug of sugar.
You didn't get to it, but the bet basically was, though, that if I lose, I owe Gavin 100, which is crazy, and the only reason I took the bet,
You should do that.
but that's because there's no fucking way I was betting $500 to eat this thing in an
Yeah.
hour and a half. That's crazy.
I love the ingredients on this thing. When you look at the ingredients on packages, did you know this, Gavin?
I
That-
don't ever look at ingredients.
So the
on packaging.
ingredients, they list the
Oh, they have
ingredients
those now.
in the order of their quantity. So
Right.
they're relatively the highest thing. Like in Frito corn chips, the first ingredient should be corn because it's mostly corn, and
Well,
then
wouldn't
oil and other stuff.
the highest ingredient in everything be water?
Well, Gavin, okay.
Oh god.
They don't break it down to like the carbon and all that stuff. So
What, is water not an ingredient then?
I saw Luke.
Water is an ingredient if you add it separately, but they don't extract the fucking water from the sugar and measure that separately.
What?
They put the most basic. Okay, whatever. Ignore him.
So,
He's in here.
so what's the thing they tell you to watch out for if it's like in the first three ingredients?
High fructose corn syrup. It's like
Or sugar, right?
Yeah.
The first two ingredients on this are corn syrup, and the second one is sugar. It's got both. It's got both on top. The third,
2 out of 3.
the third one.
2 out of 3 ain't bad.
The third one. It's glycerin. It's fucking sugar. Michael, you're gonna die. You're gonna die.
so. Think about it. So if almost half of the serving size is sugar, that means that's like almost 2.5 pounds of just pure sugar.
Fucking give me it.
Wow.
The packaging too is interesting because it has
That's-
a gummy bear and it's being split open and thousands.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks like the
Spider.
boss at the end of a Japanese game.
That's my uncle.
It's spawning like all these other gummy bears.
So, okay, people's opinions. Gus and Bernie and Dave. Am I going to lose this bet? Do you think, or is Michael going to do it?
Do you really want us to give our opinions
Because-
before the contract is signed?
I want him to do it anyway because
Yeah,
that's the thing.
he's-
But I'm also very aware that I'm going to lose $500 on something I could spend on something decent.
To be-
Imagine what I could buy for
To be
$500.
fair, though, it wasn't a negotiation. Gavin went, hey, I'll give you $500 to eat that. Like, that's how it started. And I was like, I'm going to lose $500.
It's a lot of money.
Don't fucking offer it to begin with. Don't make the bet.
You make so many bets that you don't want to do.
And Gavin, I mean, I have a really powerful imagination. I can't imagine you spending $500 on anything. So no, I can't figure out what else you would spend this money on.
So I should spend it on this, right?
This seems like the only thing that I could imagine you spending money
It
on.
seems like a good
Right, but
cause.
have you ever had the issue where... Because I don't need that much stuff in my life, to be honest.
Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead.
I don't like it when you say that.
I'm listening. I'm listening. I'm with you.
But I bought all the stuff already that I need. I don't need anything else in my life. I just need to live and not die every day. I'm achieving these
So you're
things.
trying to kill me.
But I don't know what to... What am I going to spend money on other than having... what if I die tomorrow and I have savings?
Can I make a suggestion?
Boring.
Can I make just one suggestion?
Boring.
Can I just one simple suggestion?
You look very serious.
Get a fucking car. Get a car. So the rest of us are to fucking drive you everywhere. How
Yeah,
about that?
Gavin, Jesus, get a car.
No, he's got to buy an Aston Martin. Remember?
I want my
Fucking
first car to be an
bullshit.
Aston Martin, and that takes a long time. I want some crap car.
So the flavors.
Would
Are you gonna go with your grandkids to buy it?
Would it be funny though if I just pulled up one day with a...
Why are you fucking talking to me about this? We've already talked about this. I've already told you how fucking
But,
stupid
okay,
it is.
would you be mad if you just saw me pull up in a DB9?
Would
No, I
Gus be
wouldn't-
mad?
no, I would not.
Dot, dot,
Gus
yes.
Gus would be like, no.
I would wouldn't give a fuck.
Not to mention, you don't have a driver's
Run out there with
license.
a bat.
That takes 10 seconds to get.
It doesn't take 10 seconds.
Oh yeah, so easy.
This absolutely does not take 10 seconds to get a driver's license.
Well, it's not going to take longer than saving up for an Aston Martin. So
No, it won't.
That's the
But
least of my
it
worries.
would be, how funny would it be if he saved up for an Aston Martin and couldn't get a driver's license because he couldn't pass the fucking driver's exam?
What has Bernie just read on this?
Have you looked at this packaging? Good lord! Are you okay?
I love. That's what
If
I
you
was
like this
pointing
item,
at.
also try.
That's what I put it in.
If you like the world's
worm.
largest gummy bear, also try their other items. They have a gummy worm, and then I guess they needed to fill in the rest of the box with something else. So one of their other top items they sell, apparently their only other item, is giant gummy bear on a stick.
I think that's a pound.
They just put a stick on it.
No, I think it's a pound. You know, a stick can't yet. We don't have the technology to support 5 pounds
You
on
know,
a stick.
you know what their next product should be? Like the gummy centipede. Like
Yeah.
3 of those 5-pound gummy bears put mouth to anus.
The fucking gummy worms already look like gummy dildos.
Like, yeah,
look at them.
look at the gummy worm.
They're like slapping them
That would
into
have
each other.
been funny to see.
Or a gummy helmet, like a beer helmet, but you just like suck gummy
Oh no,
slugs
you
in
eat
your
it
mouth.
like it's like a straw, like unreal, unravels.
you eat it off your head.
Anyway, the only reason I fronted this $500 to Michael is because there is no way in hell I would do that for $500
That's a good way to. That's a good barometer.
ever. I couldn't eat the ear of that thing.
You absolutely could eat the ear.
I wouldn't like it though.
Dude,
what
first of
flavor
all,
is this?
I'll say this. Your biggest disadvantage is it's cherry, and it's the best flavor.
This
Yeah.
packaging, it's like this looks like. It's, I mean, I'm sure the company's very reputable. They're a food company in. It doesn't say where.
Yeah, you know, it's a real country. Don't worry about it.
Made in USA.
Okay, good. Made in USA. But it
that
looks like a
place.
box that, like, the same things that fireworks come in. It's like that
Yeah.
same quality. And it's even here, they have the flavors on the side. Let me read you the flavors. So if you want to do this at home, you can choose your own
There's a lot.
We
flavor
should absolutely not be encouraging people to do this
of
on their
world's
own.
largest gummy bear. There's cherry, there's orange, lemon, lime, sour apple, blue raspberry, grape, pineapple, cola, cherry cola, fruity bubblegum, and Astro Bear. What the fuck is Astro
I
Bear?
don't know, dude. I figure
Who's Astro
I'll
Bear?
kick in a couple. Everybody kick in a couple
Astro
bucks. Just
Bear.
go nuts. Let's get an
If
Astro
the
Bear.
alien on Mars hands you the gummy bear, that's what it is.
Yeah, if you find it in the middle of the woods, you find the Astro Gummy Bear.
I
You
love
have to
that-
eat it with your bare
Why,
hands.
why is raspberry blue, by the way? In every single.
Is it blue there?
What? Yeah, it's blue raspberry. Every blue drink is blue raspberry as well.
What
Bubblegum.
color do you think raspberry should be?
Well, blue
Pink.
raspberry should be blue,
It should
but
be pink.
raspberry can be pink.
I mean, you can make the argument, why is bubblegum pink? But I guess bubblegum is actually pink.
Bubblegum's not a flavor.
But raspberry's like a real thing.
Gum is, of course, a flavor.
Bubblegum-
It's
flavor is
absolutely. No, but bubblegum, you're saying it's like a fruit. Let's milk this bubblegum into a cup and drink it. Bubblegum
Milk
is
and bubblegum.
artificial.
So,
It's something artificial.
No,
isn't it?
you idiot. Bubblegum is a flavor.
No!
No, listen, hear me out. I'm agreeing with you. You can't say bubblegum's not a flavor. Bubblegum just doesn't exist naturally.
Well, don't assign a color to it then if it doesn't.
Is cola a flavor? 'Cause
No!
Do you like milk a cola tree?
What the hell is Coke? Someone tell me what Coke is. Where do they get it?
You know what annoys me? When people ask, like, what the flavor of Big Red Soda is. It's like,
Yes.
what's the flavor of Coke? What's the flavor of any soft drink you drink? It's fucking red and delicious.
You can give, like, it tastes like, but I wouldn't call it a flavor.
But what is Coke? What is it?
Cola.
What is cola?
I believe it's a nut, isn't it? The cola nut?
Get the fuck out
Or
of
am I
here.
talking out my ass here? Look it up.
Alright, I'm on the computer, I'll look it up.
Well, then you just destroyed your argument if it's a nut.
What flavor is cola? I'm
Where
not gonna get
does
some
cola come from?
government idiot database of all the stuff I look up.
You'll be right next to Gavin.
What is a cola nut?
I've actually never drunk a Coke in my life, except with Jack Daniels.
Really?
The idea of Coke just on its own is just gross to
Are
me.
you kidding me?
I don't
It's
like
amazing.
Yeah, the cola nut. Hold on.
There is a
the
cola
cola
nut.
nut is the fruit of the cola tree, a genus cola of trees native to the tropical rainforests of Africa. The caffeine-containing fruit of the tree is sometimes used as flavoring ingredient in beverages.
So that's where Coca-Cola comes from.
Boom.
There you go.
Didn't they put cocaine in it at some point?
Yeah, that's where the
Yes.
coca comes from.
Okay.
Was it cocaine or was it coca?
Coca bean.
The
I think
coca
it-
leaves.
I think,
Coca
it,
leaves.
I think it was cocaine for a while in the late 1800s.
Let's get that going again.
Let's all start drinking poppy
Dude,
juice.
pep me up on a fucking Monday. It's like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, on Monday morning, we're going to do the meeting.
You're
We're gonna
like
make some
that
videos.
anyway,
Hey,
Michael.
Gavin, let's make a video. You're going to come in, sit down. I'm going to next week. We're recording a video. Let's do commentary.
How many words did you say this morning, do you think?
I don't know.
You probably used
Several?
more-
How many words? I count them.
You probably spoke more this morning than I speak in a week.
Well, you know, I'm sorry you're slow. He stares blankly at me.
So okay, right. So should I do this bet? Because I'm
Absolutely.
fronting personal money.
You
for
are irrelevant.
Rooster Teeth Entertainment right here.
You are irrelevant. So shut up. You are irrelevant in the process. You are completely irrelevant. Michael, you should not do this bet because whatever this is going to do to your body is not worth
You
$500.
guys say that every time I want to do a bet, though.
But
You have health insurance, though, right?
This is
Yeah,
this is something
from
that
you.
can sit in your stomach for
It
weeks
can't
at a
because
time.
No, it
it's coming
doesn't.
out. First of all,
How do you know it decomposes that quickly?
He's
Do you
gonna throw
wanna-
it up.
Do you want to do it today, Michael?
you can't spring it on me, though.
All right. Do you want to do it tomorrow? Huh?
Let me think.
Why can't he spring it on you?
You gotta
Because
prepare.
I gotta like
Yeah.
not eat. I'm not gonna eat a
Well-
big breakfast and then eat this thing.
Well, the only you
Give me. I need at least a day notice.
Well, you'd
if I'm
have-
gonna eat 5 fucking pounds of gummy bear.
I think
The
a
way to do
healthy
it,
breakfast is the
if you
essential
have-
part of any gummy bear diet.
Yeah. What if I put it in the egg? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't eat other foods with it. Never mind. That's what he was trying to prevent.
the only way to do it is if you have 90 minutes. That's three 30-minute time periods.
That
if
is correct.
So if you split it up, if you divide it into
Why did,
three.
why did you
just give
choose
yourself
thirds out of
3.
curiosity?
Why did I choose thirds?
Yeah.
Because he was
Because it was
'Cause
90
it's an hour and a
minutes
half,
and
so you do it
easy.
90 minutes, 30 minutes, 30 minutes per third.
Although you
sounds
can't
like
really-
sounds like it would be doable.
You can't
30
really-
minutes for a third of like what a pound and a half every 30 minutes.
I don't.
Awesome.
I don't know what we're talking about at this point.
But you can't even do that because you can't cut it into a third because like the bottom is way heavier than the top.
well, the
So-
head is probably a third
You go like
in terms of
Yeah,
density.
you can figure it out.
You have to,
Not-
like,
you don't
weigh
have to do
the
it
fucking
exactly.
thing.
I'm not saying to make it.
How about I just
exact,
grab it like I found it in the
approximately.
woods and
God.
fucking eat it with my bare
There
hands?
you go. Maybe
Your
burn
bare
it too
hands?
while you're at it.
It's God.
Throw it in the water. Maybe it'll expand even more.
It will.
I
Okay.
feel like we should talk about something other than a gummy bear. at this point.
What is the bet? When is the bet going to take place? When is it going to happen?
Tomorrow, Michael?
Okay.
Is it okay?
Oh, it's going to cost me a lot of money.
This is what happened. I was ready to do the bet last week. The day we were talking about, I was going to do it the next
See?
day.
Backing out.
And then all of a sudden, by the end of the day, he's like, "Oh, I need to think about it." And then he came in the next morning. He's like, "Let's hold off.
This
Let's
is what
hold
you do.
off."
This is what you do. You get cold feet.
Yep, I called it.
Who wants to help me out in the bet?
What's that?
Who wants to help
all-
me
let's all
out?
chip in.
You,
Fuck
start, you
See?
fucking start a
I
Kickstarter
do
for the
it.
bet?
I
could probably
read
do
the
that.
ingredients out loud.
That's true.
That's helpful.
The other day, Jeff and I were talking about Kickstarter. we had a great idea for a new website called Kickstopper, where if you donate money to Kickstopper, you can take money away from a Kickstarter.
Yeah, if you don't believe in the project.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Or fund their enemies,
Right.
basically. Yeah, sure. The competitors.
There are some dumb Kickstarters out there.
Yes.
I would happily pay double. I'd happily pay 100 to take 50 off someone else's Kickstarter.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think Kickstarter has reached its zenith at this point. I don't think, was there anything on Kickstarter that's interesting these days?
Well, the Penny Arcade one's wrapping up.
That's just about to be done, though,
yeah.
right?
I mean, I don't know. I feel like it's rare that I hear something interesting on Kickstarter. Every now and then you hear about it, but how do people even hear? I guess do people go to Kickstarter and just look for stuff?
Man,
Like,
I got,
how does-
Yeah, people do
money
that.
burning a hole in my pocket.
Well, you can get cool prototypes of stuff if you do that.
Yeah, I guess.
So
I have a little creeper wind-up toy over there from a Kickstarter.
Oh, is that where that's from? I think they sell those on ThinkGeek now, right?
I have probably might. I think
didn't-
I
do
think
they-
they did an overage of them and they put them on ThinkGeek, I think, or somewhere.
they didn't paint the creeper properly. That's not what the creeper looks like.
Uh,
The creeper is like
It's got to have like some black on it.
it's got to have
those
dark
lines,
green
yeah.
as well.
well, it's got little pixels, basically.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
just
doesn't
one
have the
solid
pixels.
color.
It just has the shapes.
So I was reading a cool story on Reddit.
Go for it.
I think I talked last week about when I had a migraine and everyone told me I had a stroke.
Yeah.
Which I'm pretty sure I didn't have a stroke because I'd be. Can you have a stroke and not have any permanent?
Yeah.
damage?
Yes.
Maybe I had a stroke. Anyway,
No. Can you?
You
That's a
would
good
know.
question. Could he have a stroke, have that effect, but then not have a permanent damage from it? I don't think he could. I think if he couldn't see and he couldn't think and he couldn't speak, that's gonna have some long term effects. You don't sleep that off.
I think he could, but I think
A
he
normal
would,
person couldn't.
he still would be fucked up like for a bit. I would
Anyway,
think,
I was
and maybe
reading-
recover.
Yeah, he's not gonna rewire in one nap.
Yeah.
Dom sent me this story on Reddit about a guy who was he was driving a car, ended up having the same thing that I had, like veering off the road. He got out, he couldn't speak. Everything he shout out, everything he was shouting out just came out as gibberish. He couldn't unlock his phone because he forgot how to. He knew what he had to do to unlock the phone, but he couldn't relate the numbers to the numbers on the keypad. And it sounded very familiar. He was shot in the head. He was shot through the head while he was driving.
what?
And he had the same effect that it basically had the same things as a stroke. That's worrying.
Wait. So he's driving his car. He gets shot. He doesn't know he's been shot.
No, he doesn't know. He just had a ringing in his ears all of a sudden. he forgot how to.
And there's no blood anywhere.
I'm sure there was.
Like he didn't know he was.
I mean, he's
When you
probably
have a bullet in your brain, and
his brain's not processing stuff correctly.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as a piece of metal goes through the thing that controls everything
Yeah.
you do, you don't really.
It's like
always,
it hit the bit in his head that had like the number unlock code. He's like, oh shit, I know this. He's like, oh, here it is, it's on the ground.
swipe to unlock. What does that mean?
Jesus. So what happened? Did the guy die?
No, he
That's what Gavin says. Nah.
no, he survived. He has mild paralysis down one side of his body, and
Fuck.
has that.
God.
Was it called aphasia or whatever that?
Yeah,
thing is?
where he can't think
He has
of
some of
words
that.
or say
But
words.
it's a cool post on Reddit. You should read it.
I read there's a connective tissue that connects the two halves of your brain. It's called the corpus callosum, and I read
Yeah.
a study about. And we actually saw some film of it where they used to try to treat epilepsy by cutting that. They thought that was
Yeah.
a way to treat epilepsy was cut the
It's
distinctly
amazing that you can
separate the two halves of the
You
brain.
can survive with it cut.
Yeah. But the two halves of the brain just basically can't talk to each other. But there's certain things that are processed in one side of the brain, not in the other. So they would cover one eye. And so you're looking with your left eye at something, and then it would communicate to the right side of the brain. I don't know which side does what off the top of my head. But essentially what they were doing is they were letting people look at something where they could visually recognize it, and they'd say, what is that thing? And there's a picture of a spoon. So they would say, oh, that's a... And then they couldn't get their brain to say what it was because their brain knew what it was, but couldn't communicate to the other side what they were seeing in order to say it.
What if they did this to a one-eyed person?
That would be that'd be crippling probably. But they said point to the spoon. They point to the spoon. They go, what is that? That's up. And they couldn't say it.
Yeah, there was a really cool show that ended up. It was a pilot that didn't last very long on NBC. I think it was called 3 pounds because I guess your brain weighs 3 pounds. But it was
Your brain.
kind of similar to that. Similar to that story. There was in the show one of the girls couldn't was in an accident and she couldn't talk or anything like that. So in the show they do open brain surgery. Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Go on.
And they, just like how what Bernie was saying, they would show her pictures. They say, name this. And they had her brain open. When they'd poke certain parts of her brain, like that would trigger certain like memories and senses. So she'd they'd say what is this? And it'd be a cup. And she's like, smells lavender. Like she couldn't see it was crazy. But
So this was
just by poking different
A
parts of your brain.
documentary or a TV show?
This was in Kara's in the van. This was a van in her backyard. You know that girl that's been missing?
I've seen those
It was
open skull surgeries though, like where they have
it's
to
just crazy.
when they're operating on a tumor or something, they have to have the person awake and answering questions just to detect how much damage is happening to the brain. Like they can't go too far. They can only remove so much of the tumor before they have to stop.
Before they have to start putting bits back in?
Yeah, but they it must be so weird.
I think
though.
Michael J. Fox documented some of that for his Parkinson's.
Oh, really?
Like they would go in, they put a probe down into his brain and destroy parts of his brain.
Well, there's no nerve endings, are there, in the brain? So you can't
There's no
actually feel.
sensory nerve endings.
You
Yeah.
can't feel your brain.
Right.
Is that why they can do what are those called?
The brain doesn't love itself enough.
That's
Wait,
That's the crazy thing about headaches.
What is a headache then? I was
Right.
just going to ask.
That's the crazy thing about headaches is your sensory it basically ends at your scalp.
Yeah.
So-
is it because I've heard of people when they have a leg amputated, they have phantom feelings in where they think their leg still is. They try to get an itch, but the leg isn't there, and it's as time goes on, it gets higher and higher up until it reaches the stump, and it's just normal again. But that's so weird that you can project feelings into a space that doesn't exist.
Yeah, I think
And
it
it's
might,
probably the same with the brain. It projects the pain into the inside of the brain, even though there's no sensory nerve endings.
right. I don't think they really have a clear understanding of what headaches are exactly.
Imagine if you could put that to an extreme where you could force someone to have pain over there, in the corner of the room.
You get two people who have pain on either sides of the room, and then make someone in the middle feel pain. Is that how it happens?
You can extend your nerve endings to them.
But if you can feel pain in a piece of your body that doesn't exist,
Yes.
surely you could be. They could mess with you, and you could put it anywhere. Have a pain that's really behind you, and be like, ah.
Oh yeah, absolutely. How would they do that exactly? How would they do that? So these people, the people that want to project pain into
The
your
pain
head,
people, Bernie.
but they want to make you feel pain, but not on your body.
But behind you.
Yeah.
They want to confuse the pain that you think that you're feeling.
You could probably do it. I mean, when you tell
You
people
could probably do it, yeah.
poking bits of brain, it's like, oh, you smell lavender now. There's no lavender.
What is the?
I hate it when you talk to me and your eyes are watering. I hate that. I know something's coming.
I would be sitting here in the office and I would say, "God, my chair at home hurts." Is that what? I don't understand.
The displacement part of it. But why would
Bernie, these people.
is enough that I would say that person feels pain, not that they feel pain.
Oh, the corner of the room's killing me.
Why does it have to be behind you?
Is the kitchen killing you guys too?
Be great too if you could like.
Gus just looks so baffled.
Like I'm trying to think of
by
like a practical application. You're like, oh, my chair at home's gonna rip soon. You know? The stitching is starting to come
Oh, the
apart.
leg's about to break. It's like, oh, ow! I need to tighten that nail.
Like, yeah, but if I projected into you right now with my machine, my gun, my pain gun,
Powers.
and I turned it on to hit you with it, and you said it feels like something hurts 5 feet behind me, that would be the weirdest feeling.
No, the way I'd imagine it would be like, imagine if you had an extension of your body, like a hunch or like something that came out
shooting
really
his
far.
A tail?
hump.
So you just had a big, like a hunch or a growth that stuck out like 4 feet behind you. Imagine
wrong with
That
you?
would probably hurt anyway.
And imagine itching the back of your hump. Imagine that, except you don't have a hunch.
I like how you keep calling it a hunch. That's probably my favorite part of all of this.
First one was
A hunch is what you do because you have a hump.
it's a
Hunchback.
hump. It's a hump.
What's the hunchback
A
then?
hunch is also like intuition.
A person hunches over it and then they have a hump.
What's a hunchback?
It's like calling your legs your jumps.
Oh my
You're
god.
fucking dumb.
A hunch is what you do.
So someone who has a hunchback, that's not a hump.
That's a hump.
Yes, it's a
So
hump.
why was the hunchback in Notre Dame called a hump?
Because he's
What?
hunchback.
He had a hump.
Because he has a hump. He's
Yeah,
hunchback.
he has a hump. You're calling it a hunch. Oh, okay. We'll slowly turn in.
So you can't be
Slowly
punched
turn
in the hunch. You have to be punched in the hump.
Yeah, and ducks don't actually ever duck. Just so you know, I just want you to know that. They're just called that.
Man,
what-
it's truly amazing when we teach you basic words or like basic concepts on this
Every-
I
podcast.
thought it was called
week.
the hunch.
A hunch. God, I hate mountain lions so much, man.
You could hunch over a freshly cut orange,
I guess you could.
peel it off.
Jeez.
When is
Why
your
is it that-
ambush interview? We need to.
Why is it that the lap is the only body part? Well, like you never see someone get shot in the lap.
Because it's shot in the fucking legs.
That's true.
But I want there to be a movie where someone like strolls across and is like, I got shot when you get shot in the lap. It never happens. I've never seen a movie
Because
where
it's the
someone gets...
thigh.
Lap.
Well, it's the lap if you're sat down.
Right.
But it's still the thigh, always.
But when you stand up, your lap disappears. You have a lap, and then you just...
But it's not. You're not going to go. You
lap
don't go to the
is-
doctor. You're like,
doesn't- no,
doctor,
no.
I think I have lap cancer. You know?
Right? No, lap
It's
is
not-
just a lap.
the lap is not a part of the body.
Isn't
It's
it
just
like
what you
the-
refer
the
to.
body, the body would form a lap, I guess,
Exactly.
right?
It's
Like this
it's
is
the
my
term
lap.
you
I
use
don't
for
know.
the area.
But you also
I've got to
wouldn't,
take a week off my laps being amputated.
you wouldn't tell some kid to come sit on your thighs either, you know?
Gavin just spit out water.
I got a genuine spit take.
Sorry.
that on video. Oh my
Sit on
God.
Santa's
Sorry,
thigh.
Gavin.
Come sit on Santa's thighs.
Sorry, Gavin. We need to give you a lapectomy.
And you'll get a thigh dance.
Did you really spit water?
I did a little bit. Yeah.
It was, yes.
He just spit out water yesterday.
I did it during Arwen. There's actually footage. Ray made me laugh while I was taking a sip, and it went everywhere. And then Ray tried to clear up the spit I made, and banged his head really hard on the desk. It was awesome.
Why are you making Ray clean your spit?
I don't know. He just came up and I don't know why he helped me do that.
'Cause Ray's nice.
Ray's a nice. I love Ray.
Ray
Ray's-
is a nice
Ray's
guy.
one of my
Yeah,
favorites.
he's great.
What, is the bromance over?
What? No way.
Okay.
You know, go through a rough patch every
Ray-
now and then, Bernie. It doesn't mean it's over.
What
Come
we've
on.
noticed is Ray doesn't actually hang out with anyone.
That's
at
true.
Achievement Hunter. Ray hangs out with the animators doing Red vs. Blue. I would love to hang out with Ray. at some
Ray
point.
doesn't hang out with anyone from Achievement Hunter because Ray doesn't drink, and we're known to do that.
Ray
from
doesn't
time to time.
drink?
Can we
Not
get
at all.
Ray?
I don't
and
trust him
ask-
anymore.
And
No.
ask him why he doesn't drink.
At
Why
all.
No. We do not need a sixth person in here.
I don't mean
Yeah.
now. I mean at
You
some
can
point.
leave if you want Ray to come
Yeah.
in.
We already pushed the limits on Gus.
You already said it. You already had a
Hang
fifth
Gus
person
as much
show
as
up.
possible.
I'm going to text Ray.
Oh, God damn. I'll
Do we
fucking end
know?
this.
Do we know why he doesn't drink?
He doesn't like it. He just doesn't like the taste. But like, no one likes the
No
taste when
one
they first
does.
drink it.
He's,
But
over, he's over 21, right?
he's 22.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone who does a shot
he's-
of whiskey and thinks delicious.
Well, Jeff, but I don't know. He was just like, "Oh, it's not worth it. Why would I drink it if I don't like it?" And that's it. And he was just like, "No."
Maybe he just never had a good drunk experience.
Or maybe
I don't know if he's ever been drunk.
Being drunk is awesome.
Thank you.
It's amazing.
Telling me. Yeah, you know what happens when you get drunk? Gavin wants to wrestle.
I do. I went to Michael's.
Believe me, I know. My wife has footage of us wrestling in a hotel room in London.
We just went swimming the other day over the weekend. Gavin came over and he got annihilated. And before I knew it, he wanted to wrestle. He's like, "Let's wrestle! I can take you!" And he was just having a fit in the pool.
You were there too, right, Dave? How did I do in the wrestle? Did you see us wrestling?
I wasn't paying. I think I was.
Yeah, she was drunk too.
I would guess that
Yeah.
Michael could take you pretty easily. Am I wrong about
I
that?
thought I put up a pretty good fight.
He put up a fight for a drunk where, like, I just kind of held him underwater for a little bit, and then
Yeah.
he came up.
Oh, it's embarrassing for you.
We
Is it?
we started wrestling
think
and
so.
fighting like the day before I had to fly back to the U.S.
Yeah, you take-
and then the next morning I was in the terminal at Heathrow. I was like, God, why's my back all sore? I looked in the mirror. I had fucking bruises all up and down my spine.
I
my
tackled
God.
Gus off his bed onto the ground, and they said, at what point did that start?
I don't even know.
Dude, that was a heavy night.
Yeah.
To be fair, Gus is the one that also wanted to arm wrestle when he got drunk.
I still have that picture on my phone.
That is an amazing
It's like
picture.
it's my phone background of me and my
Yeah.
crazy drunk face.
The next morning after I tackled you to the ground, I had to take the underground to get home, and I actually had to get off at a stop that wasn't my stop because I was going to throw up. And it's like really hot down there on the underground, on the subway. So,
The underground
Look at you
does
cropped it.
feel like cancer. Like when I'm down there in those tubes, it feels like cancer down there. It feels like soot and heat and
yeah, I think
awfulness.
there's some stat. I'm not sure it's true, but whenever you're down there, it's the equivalent of smoking a bunch of cigarettes. Just because
Really?
of pollution.
Ugh.
It's like-
I think about that when I go through a tunnel, and they have those walkways
Yeah.
along
Yeah.
the tunnel, and I'm thinking, if I had to walk on that walkway in here, I would die.
Apparently, there's a special form of maintenance they do where they just get the hair out of there.
Gross.
Because the wind of the trains, like, I guess people lose the singular hair, and then
Oh,
it just
yeah, I
clumps
can
up
see
into
that.
big balls of hair that are on
Weird.
the tracks.
That's fucking disgusting.
It's gross. And
That
it's
is
Now
not
they have to have a big train with a
Gross
comb in front of it going down the tunnel. You're like, oh, time to clear the hair.
They have the comb like from Spaceballs when they're combing the desert.
That's so gross.
Hey, we were talking a little bit.
The Afro.
The guy with the pig.
Did you see the article? And Gus, I don't know if this will make you mad or not.
Uh-oh, it probably will.
Did you hear about the guy on the Qantas flight? He was a nurse, and he was asked to move seats. He was asked to change seats. Did you read about
No,
that
I've
story?
not heard this.
So he was asked to change seats, and he had to switch seats with a woman. Mm-hmm. And afterwards, the flight attendant came back down and thanked the woman for changing seats. And he's like, "What? Why is she getting thanked? I was asked to change seats. What's going on?" And he asked about it. He went back to the rear galley, and he asked him, "Why was I asked to change seats?" And they said because it's Qantas's policy that, and apparently there's a policy a lot of airlines have, that if there's an unattended minor riding on the plane, you know, with the little tag they wear, that they can't sit next to a male, an adult male.
That's fucked up.
Really?
And they moved him, and apparently that's the rule across a lot of airlines. And then this guy, and the stewardess treated him basically like a pedophile, even
Yeah.
though he was just assigned to the seat. Like they wouldn't speak to him, and the other passengers wouldn't look at him.
Is that
Yeah.
an ancient rule that just someone hasn't got rid of?
That doesn't sound like an ancient rule. That
No.
sounds like
that sounds
a
like
an
current
ancient rule.
It sounds like
Flying,
it sounds like a
Gavin.
new rule that's horrible that they had to.
That's so
do.
stupid.
That actually sounds like something that's on the increase. Is that like for whatever reason, men are seen as like constant sexual predators.
Also,
You know why?
But who's going to fit
You
this
are.
do you think that's true though? Because if you look at like the instance of pedophilia, it seems to be mostly women teachers getting busted for sleeping with 12-year-old students.
No, I think that people only pay attention to that because that's unusual. I think for the most part, it's men preying on.
You're not going to diddle a kid on a
smaller
plane, surely.
children. People do fucked up shit on a plane, dude.
Yeah?
Yeah. 'Cause especially if you think like you're only gonna like. I'm just.
Wow, here we
making
go,
this
guys.
argument.
Here we go.
If you see a kid, like if you're a pedophile, you see a kid, you're like, I'm only gonna see this kid for the next hour or two. Then that's it. I'm at the airport. They have no idea who I am.
they have your
Prime
name and your seat
sibling.
number.
The kid doesn't know that.
What's that?
The kid doesn't know that.
But the
The
kid's
kid
like,
yells and is like, "What the hell? This
My
man
wee-wee."
switched me." Yeah.
like-
Someone's gonna look.
is that how you yell?
Yeah, he's gonna yell just like
Is that your
that.
little yell?
How do you yell?
The little
Gar?
kid yells. Ah! That's
What happens when someone's getting molested?
That's the little. Kid,
I got the
that's little
perfect
kid
solution for
scream.
this. A plane ride's about what? An hour and a half, 2 hours?
Depends
What are
where
you
you're
talking
going.
You take a 5-pound gummy bear. You give it to the kid, quiet kid, for an hour and a half. Actually, there were people in the comment threads I was reading about it. They said that the guys were like, as an adult single male, if you want to move me the fuck away from kids on a plane, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Do you think?
Yeah, I'm sure he wasn't that annoyed.
Yeah.
No, he was. He was. This is the guy who works with kids. He's a nurse, and it's like he got like profiled. He's like, go sit somewhere else.
Also, he probably got
pretty
set next to-
shitty.
right in between like two old people. You know that's the seat he
Yeah,
got.
I spent a lot
It
of
was
time
piece of
choosing my
shit.
seats on a plane. I'd be kind of pissed if I lost my seat.
I'd be fucking furious if someone just moved my ass.
Yeah, there was actually two unaccompanied kids sitting in front of me on a plane ride that I took recently, and one of them was having a problem because he didn't understand why his ears were pressurizing. I guess he'd literally never been on a plane before ever, and the kid was freaked out. He was like,
he an orphan or
he was like grabbing at his ears. An orphan on a plane? Where was he going?
well, the thing is, defense. It was an unaccompanied minor on his first flight. That's a little weird.
It is a little weird. It is. Why does he have to be an orphan?
Because his parents aren't there.
Oh, right.
What parents would point to their kid on a flight who's never flown
Well, he's
before?
going somewhere to see somebody, right?
Well, probably because his parents just died. He's probably
going
flying
to-
to his
What if he's going
grandparents.
to see his grandma?
He's going to the Isle of Misfit Kids. Drop
What a
him off.
horrible story you've written for this kid.
Well, I mean, also, like, I'm on Gavin's side. Like, what parent wouldn't tell their kid? Like, how
That's
did this
true.
kid
You
get
need
on
to-
a plane? First of all, unaccompanied.
like
Second
Gavin?
of all, with no warning that your ears are going to pressurize, with no gum or anything.
Would
like,
you
no
think about that
preparation.
to tell a kid that?
Yes.
Yes,
If he's
of
flying for the
course.
first time, here's what you need to
Well,
know.
you're only thinking about it because I said it. What are some other things you would warn a kid about on a plane?
The
The
first time,
toilet flushes are loud and they take you by surprise. Don't be scared.
The first time I ever flew was unaccompanied, and my parents warned me and gave me a pack of gum.
Oh, did they really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
Well,
Fair
and
enough.
Congratulations.
The stewardesses would, do that.
Flight attendants.
Flight attendants.
But I was actually trying to help this kid. I was explaining to him what it was because he looked scared. You know what I mean? And I was explaining to him. I said, "Hey, are your ears hurting?" He goes, "Yeah." And he looked like kind of like a little bit teary eyed. I said, "It happens." I said, "It happens all the time. It's totally normal. Everybody has it." And I was trying to explain the thing where you hold your
Yeah.
nose and blow. And he was trying that, and like the flight attendant came up and interrupted us and like took over. Which at the time I thought, okay, good, she's finally here and doing her job. But now I'm thinking like she saw me talking to this unaccompanied kid.
Telling him to blow.
Exactly.
You know what? It helps. It
not
helps
funny.
if you close your eyes when you do it.
This is not funny.
What is actually,
goodness.
you know when you try and pop your ears,
This
you,
is horrible.
you squeeze your nose and blow as hard as you can.
Sure.
What physically is moving inside your head that
There's-
causes the?
There is a membrane that's like this. It's in your ear tube that
He's
goes between
holding
your,
up both his hands.
Yeah, it's like basically it's like this, and like when it pressurizes, it's normally supposed to sit like this. And when it pressurizes, it goes in like that,
Yeah.
and then you blow out, and it goes.
Yeah,
it
but
goes back
so
out.
what makes it do that? Though is like air being released from somewhere.
It's in
Or-
your sinuses.
Pressure in your head, air pressure in your head.
It really hurts whenever I do that. And also, if I you have to really put effort in. So sometimes, if it really hurts and I don't go all the way with it, I make it worse. Like I feel like you have to go
Yeah.
through the level
I-
of like
you know, I-
really block your ears and then you empty them.
I've never popped my ears like that because you have to put so much
Yeah.
effort in. I feel like I'm
Yeah.
going to break something.
And
Because people used to tell me to do that as a
Yeah.
kid, and I'd be like doing it, and I'd be like, I feel so much worse, and I'd
It's
stop
so
there.
easy
But then
for
one
me.
day I was like, screw it, I'm going to go all out, and I just went, and I was like, it was awesome. It feels really
Oh, I
good.
can't bring myself to do
It
it.
hurts,
can't
but
do
it's,
it.
it's like a satisfying. It's like when you crack your back and you really need to. It's like, oh,
Uh,
Is that the best feeling for you? The best random body feeling is when you crack your back.
Dude, I once had this.
I'd say ejaculation, but
Well, let's go with
I was in a
dinner
thing where,
conversation.
I had like a when I took deep breaths, my chest kind of ached for a long time. And one morning I woke up and it was like something out of a TV show. I just opened my curtains and saw it was a sunny day, and I just went, and I took in a really deep breath, and all my intercostal muscles or something, it just went. I was like, oh, and I coughed for like a minute, and I was like, that felt great, and I never had any pain after that again. But it was like the most satisfying and most painful.
So that was the first
pop.
day you ever took a breath.
I just took a
it
really
was the first beautiful day in England.
I marked it on the calendar.
Yeah, it was the one good day in August that we had, and I hadn't taken a really deep breath for a long time, I guess, and the pain went away. But it was like,
Good lord.
it was a real big pop to the point where it like punched me in the lungs and I coughed.
Gavin,
Your diaphragm.
Gavin's the guy that goes to the doctor and says, like, all right, take a deep breath. And he's like, I'm cured! You're a miracle worker.
All right, we'll start breathing. Done. So
What about you? What's
That'll
like
be
random
$5,000.
good body feeling?
I like when my lower back cracks. Like
Yeah?
sometimes I'll lay down and I'll just feel like my spine go down and crack.
I used to be able to do my elbow a lot.
I
A really,
crack my neck
really good
all
pop.
the
Also, I can
time.
crack my wrist, my right wrist. Oh, that's really good.
Dude, Dave can crack her neck. She just like pulls her hair.
Do it. Put it on mic.
Oh wait, let me feel.
Hold on, let me turn the volume up on that mic.
Oh, okay, she's really good at this.
Get close to the mic.
Well, now it might not even crack, and that'd be great. Okay.
She just like tugs her head.
Stage fright.
Nope.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow.
Wow. You know what we should do? Oh, wow. We should do.
It felt so good.
can see the waveform. It sounds like someone standing on a plastic bottle.
We should do at the panel at PAX, which is coming up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
We should do that thing where everybody cracks their knuckles at once. 4,000 people crack their knuckles.
Oh, have you seen that done?
Sound
It is
cool?
the creepiest sound. It's like this wet, like.
We should record that.
Look
I
it
might
up.
be able to do my
Save it.
elbow right now.
I just did all of my curl.
My favorite
Sucks.
feeling though, when I was a kid, I have to run because I have a meeting that we're overdue
Yeah.
for. My favorite feeling when I was a kid was you guys talked about going swimming. One of my favorite things when I was a kid was going swimming. And like 3 hours after I finished going swimming, I always have like water in my ear
Yes,
that would drain
and
out of my ear, and it was like the
feels
best
so-
feeling ever.
Because it's warm.
Whatever it was, it was like that relief
Have you ever
pressure.
actually like physically run out of your ear
I have
later
that,
in
yeah.
the day? That's
Yeah.
weird.
How
Yeah.
did you let it drain? You just let it drain?
It just I wouldn't even think about it. Just suddenly would come out.
See,
like some people hit themselves in the head and all that.
So you don't get to hit yourself every time I get out of the water. I just like
No, you
Shake
just-
your head twice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you just
that's all I
like
do.
forcefully shake your head and it's fine.
I just go pop pop and it comes right out.
I never
I'll
worried
give you
about
that.
it.
It does feel great. It's like
I never worried about it because I was not one of those kids who had ear infections.
Yeah.
And I always felt bad for those kids because I don't know what an ear infection even is.
I was. I fucking
I
had
had
them
them
all the time.
Does it
too.
sting or what does it feel like?
Yeah, it just burns. It
No,
itches.
it
hurts. It's
I
pain.
did have one once. It just feels like there's someone with a pin, and occasionally they just go.
I
Just give it a poke, and then it'll be okay for a bit. It'll be like the pain level will go down to like a 4, and then it's like 7.
Yeah, I used to get them so often. They wanted to put those tubes in my ears.
Grommets.
Yeah, like I forget what they call it, but they'd like put like I guess to relieve pressure or something.
Yeah,
It'd go
just
like
like-
into your sinuses.
It's drainage. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just like pokes a little hole in the membrane, and it does have a little grommet in there.
yeah.
that
I
reminds
knew
me
people that had them.
of the worst feeling I can think of is when you fucking like suck water up your nose in the pool.
Yeah.
I feel like my brain is melting. I'm just like, you just go to the side of the pool and just like all this
Yeah, all
snot
that
and just
chlorinated
saliva
water. Oh.
comes out, and you're like, my eyes are all watering. I feel like I've been hit with tear gas. That is the worst feeling ever.
It's like
Yeah.
it has a taste or like a smell.
Yeah.
Water up your nose has a different smell than just smelling water.
Yeah.
All
Bye,
right,
buddy.
there goes Bernie.
Bye.
We're about to wrap up anyway. We're like an hour and a half.
You
in.
know
I'll
when
put my
Bunny
pants
leaves,
back on.
he's going to come in like 3 or 4 times before he's properly left.
Well, we're already gonna wrap up as is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Alright.
that was enjoyable, Gus. Do you feel any better now that we've had a couple of laughs?
Yeah, I feel better.
Yeah.
Gus
In a
wasn't
better
feeling good.
mood.
No, Gus is in a bad mood today.
I
Woke
went-
up on the
I
wrong
was-
side of the bed today.
Gus,
Hey,
hey,
what's up?
buddy,
Oh,
dude, I
God.
saw a smile on his face when I walked in. That explains it.
Michael put me back in a good mood. It's the first time you ever heard that.
Yeah.
I'm in a good mood because I saw Michael. All right, well, we're going to wrap up. What is this? I guess I should plug our upcoming events. We're doing Fan Expo in Toronto on the 23rd, I think, 23rd to 26th, and then PAX Prime in Seattle, I believe the 31st to September 2nd.
Awesome.
So if you
Crazy.
live in either of those cities or going to those events, come by and say hello.
Do you know who's going?
I believe for Fan Expo, we're sending Barbara, Jordan, and Jack. And for PAX Prime, I don't remember off the top of my head. I know it's me, Bernie, and some other people.
Jack.
I've already booked-
Jack's also doing PAX
Jack's
Prime.
going. And I don't remember who else. Some other people.
Sweet.
It'll be on the website. All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Hey.
Bye.
Later, y'all.